Hey, Magic fans, welcome back. That's right, the title says it all. Commander Legends Baldur's Gate has been leaked. Um, where you might add? Funny you say that. I managed to jerk a bunch of these pictures from a certain TikTok area, among with also finding them scattered throughout the internet with several different ways. Um, Not gonna get into it of how, but hey, it was posted on the internet, so now I'm gonna post it here for you since most of that stuff got deleted. I managed to grab all of it as soon as I started to see it come out. So with that said, before I get started, remember to like and subscribe. Smash that subscribe button. Try and get to 1,000 viewers. Comments down below. If you've done everything you can to support, links in the description to the eBay store, Patreon, and email to the store. So, without further ado, I got quite a bit. This might be a long one, but let's dive into it, and I'll skip over the stuff that we already know about. So, here's our first spoiler. OG, the Exquisite Blade. So, a blue, white, and 2 for a 2/3 legendary creature, human monk. When he enters the battlefield, you gain 2 life and scry 2. Okay, not too bad. Whenever you cast a second spell each turn, exile up to 1 target creature you control, then return to the battlefield under its owner's control. That's very interesting, especially for Commander, because remember, this is Baldur's Gate stuff, right? So, I like it. Decent uncommon. I can see some shenanigans with it. The next leak we have is Mocking Doppelganger. So, for a blue and 3, has Flash. When it enters the battlefield as a copy of a creature an opponent controls, except it has other creatures with the same name as this creature are goaded. So that's very interesting. Especially for Commander, you can flash this in before somebody's turn, copy their creature, it makes them get goaded. Um, Pretty neat mythic. It's only 4 mana. It has flash. It can be used as blockers. Like, this is a great Commander card. The next one we got Dread Linonorm. So green and 6 for a 7/6. I want you to pay special attention here. We have adventure cards back, guys. So for 7, it can't be blocked by creatures power 3 or less. But as an instant, you can use Scale Deflection for a green and 3. Put 2 +1/+1 counters on target creature and untap it. It gains hexproof till end of turn. That is amazing. If we get new adventure cards like this, but they're obviously not going to be in standard. But the fact that you'll have more adventure cards for the commander stuff seems amazing. I can't wait to see what else there is. But yes, I snapped the photos, but I didn't. Other than looking at a couple of them real deep to see if they were real or not, I pretty much didn't look at any of these. So we're in for some shocks together. All right, so obviously this is a Sky Diamond foil. 2 colorless, comes into play tapped, you tap it for a blue, basic rock. This also tells us that this particular Dungeons and Dragons kind of alternate art foiling is going to be back in the Dungeons and Dragons commander set for Baldur's Gate, which I gotta admit is kind of cool. Do like it. All right, next we have Cloakwood Hermit. So for a green and 2, commander creatures you own have, at the beginning of your end step, if a creature card was put into your graveyard from anywhere this turn, create 2 tapped 1/1 green squirrel creature tokens. That seems pretty powerful as an enchantment. And it says legendary enchantment background. So I don't know what background means. Um, but it's legendary enchantment. Maybe we'll find out later as we go through this together, or hopefully once the set really does get spoiled. But we'll have to wait and see. All right, so next we have Arcane Signet. Obviously has been reprinted with just a different picture. Everybody knows what it is. It's 2 mana, add 1 mana of your commander's color identity, so not a real big deal to cover here. Next we have You Look Upon the Terrascui. Oh boy, so for green and 4, it's an instant. You get to choose one, run and hide, prevent all combat damage that would be dealt to you and creatures you control this turn, or gather your courage. Target creature gets +5/+5, gains hexproof during the turn. All creatures your opponent control able to block that creature this turn do so. Very interesting. So again, something else from the D&D set here where it gives you an option to do things and then tells you what the D&D equivalent is. I know people didn't like this stuff, but I thought it was really cool, and I'm glad they're bringing it back. All right, so next we have Astral Confrontation, white and 4. It's an instant, it costs 1 less to cast for each opponent you're attacking. Exile target creature. All right, decent common, I guess. Kind of interesting, definitely commander focused. Next we have Jarori's Respite, green and 4, instant, search your library for up to X basic land cards, where X is the number of creatures attacking you. Put those cards on the battlefield tap, then shuffle, prevent all combat damage. Oh boy, this is going to be shenanigans after shenanigans after shenanigans. Everybody's going to be wanting to play this if they're playing green. It's a fog with land surge. Alright, so next we have kind of hard to see that with the stuff in the way. In-worker Adept, Dionysus, or anyway, it's a white, red, blue, and 1 for a 4/4. Legendary human wizard with haste. It's rare. You may activate abilities of other creatures you control as though those creatures had haste. Nice. When you next activate an ability this turn by spending 4 or more mana to activate it, copy that ability. You may choose new targets. Very interesting commander. Or just one of the 99. Very nice card. Once again, we see the alternate art style of the Dungeons and Dragons book. All right, Citadel Gate. Enters battlefield tap. Choose a color other than white. Add 1 white or 1 mana of the chosen. Okay, so basically this is a dual land that's a gate. So you can now help out with gate decks, right? That's really cool. Plus, it's a dual land. This is really nice. I like this. All right, what else we got? Mazzy, True's Word Paladin. Interesting. White, green, red, and 1 for a 3/4 halfling knight. Hey. Whenever an enchanted creature attacks one of your opponents, it gets +2/+0 against trample. Okay. Whenever an aura you control is put in the graveyard from the battlefield, exile it until the end of your next turn. You may cast that card. Woo, that's pretty nice. Cool looking rare. All right, next we have Baba Lasaga, Night Witch. Green, black, and 1 for a 3/3 human warlock. Sacrifice up to 3 permanents if there were 3 or more card types among the sacrificed permanents. Each opponent loses 3 life, you gain 3 life, and you draw 3 cards. Wow, that seems pretty strong. Yeah, I like that. All right, see what else we got. Emoan, Mystic Trickster, blue and 2 for a 2/3 human rogue wizard. Wow, 2 types for party decks. It has ward 2, so it's hard to hit. At the beginning of your end step, if you have the initiative, draw a card. Draw another card if you've completed a dungeon. Choose a background. Okay. So this says choose a background. That may mean background might be something that's kind of like a sideboard that you don't actually put in your deck, and then you get a background to put into play. That's very interesting. Also, it talks about doing the dungeon to draw a card, right? But then it also talks about having the initiative. That makes me wonder, is initiative going to be something like, um, what's it called? When they, when you're the monarch, like, is it like the monarch or is it something different? So lots of cool abilities here we get to try and dive into. I really like this. Yeah, sorry, I had so much stuff on this I had to cut out so I didn't get anybody in trouble. Um, Araka Sneak, blue and 3, flying, enters the battlefield. You take the initiative. So here's a creature that will give you initiative when it hits the battlefield. So now we just got to figure out what initiative is. Gale, Waterdeep Prodigy. So blue and 2 for a 1/3 human wizard. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell from your hand, you may cast up to 1 target card of another type from your graveyard. If a spell cast from your graveyard this way would be put into your graveyard, you exile it, choose a background. Interesting. Interesting, interesting, interesting. All right. So Swiftfoot boots are back. Two mana, quick repress hexproof, equips for one, yada yada yada. Moving on. Ooh, another adventure card, Fang Dragon. So for two red and five, you get a 6/3 of flying. So The sorcery here for a red and one deals one damage to each creature you don't control. Interesting. Not the best of adventures, but still. Sea Hag. Blue and four. When Sea Hag enters the battlefield, can't see the rest of it. And it has an adventure for a blue and two, unfortunately. All right, well, moving on. Goggles of Night. Blue and one. It's an equipment. Whenever the equipped creature deals damage to a player, scry one, then draw a card. That's pretty cool. Looks like it attaches for, I'm going to think, two. That's pretty sweet. Okay, next we have Summon Undead. Black and four sorcery. You may mill three cards, then return a creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield. Basic 5 mana reanimate. Something Hallister. I imagine it's actually Hallister himself. Oh, no, this is the background, so something Hallister. Anyway, a black and one legendary enchantment background. Commander creatures you own have the first time you would draw a card each turn. Instead, look at the top two cards of your library. Put one of them into your graveyard and the other back on top of your library, then draw a card. Very interesting. Uh, hmm. All right. Passageway Seer, black and three for a 2/2, lifelink, tiefling, warlock. Great, tieflings. I love it. When Passageway Seer enters the battlefield, you take the initiative. Okay, there's that again. At the beginning of your end step, if you have the initiative, put a +1/+1 counter on the Seer. Okay. So maybe having the initiative doesn't really do anything for you other than having the initiative to trigger other abilities. Interesting. So Nothic, black and four for a 4/3 creature horror. It's got dice rolling too. It's got weird insight. When Nothic dies, you roll d20. You can draw a card and lose a life, or you draw two cards, you lose two life, or you draw seven cards and you lose seven life. Wow, that's pretty sweet. Next we have Elin Harbreeze, Busybody, a white and three for a human peasant 2/4. Tap, look at top X cards in your library, X of the number of tokens you created this turn. Put one of those cards in your hand, the rest in the bottom of the library in random order. Choose a background. So this looks really cool. Just because it says look at X, look at X cards in your library. Put one into your hand. It doesn't say a specific type. It could be anything. The only drawback is the number of tokens you've created. Which being in white, having the token, making tokens ain't gonna be that hard. Very interesting. I like it. Robe of the Arc Magi. I remember this. That's funny. A blue and two. Whenever a equipped creature deals combat damage to a player, you draw that many cards. Whoa! Equips for four. You equip a shaman, a warlock, or a wizard for one. Wow, that's cool. I like it. All right, what else we got? Eldritch Pact. Black and six. Sorcery. Target player draws X cards and loses X life, where X is the number of cards in their graveyard. Woo! That could kill somebody. Like that. That's pretty sweet. Next, we have Jan Jansen, Chaos Crafter. It's like a black, white, and red for. I can't see those stats. They look weird, though. Anyway, has haste. Sacrifice an artifact creature, get two treasure tokens. Sacrifice a non creature artifact, create two 1/1 colorless constructs. So basically, this guy just makes stuff over and over. Interesting. Wish I could see that better. These pictures are so bad. I'm sorry, guys. We have a street urchin, red and one, legendary enchantment. Oh, it's background. So commander creatures you own have one, sacrifice another creature or artifact. This creature deals one damage to any target. Interesting. Passionate archaeologist, red and one. I don't know. Oh, it's a background. Commander creatures you own have whenever you cast a spell from blank is creature deals damage equal to the mana's spell value. Ugh. Sorry guys, can't really see that one. Looks like a mythic though, so. Next here we have Lulu the Loyal Holophant. Oh my god. It's a white and three. I don't know how big it is. It's an angel elephant. Flying at the beginning of your end step. If a permanent you controlled left the battlefield this turn, put a +1/+1 counter on each tapped creature you control, and then untap them and choose a background. My God. Angel Elephant. Okay, Master Chef. Green and 2, it's a background. Commander creatures you own have this creature enters the battlefield with an additional +1/+1 counter on it. And other creatures you control enter the battlefield with additional +1 counters on them. Oh, so it's just kind of a permanent thing. Not too bad for a background. Elephant Harvester, very nice. Blue and 4 is an adventure. You get a 4/4. Uh, when it enters the battlefield, turn any number of target tapped non-token creatures face down. They're 2/2 horror creatures. Okay. For the sorcery, it's a blue and X, 2 blue and X. Says tap X target creatures they don't untap during the control's next time tap. Okay, so you literally can tap the entire person's playfield in your turn, next turn play this, and turn all their stuff into 2/2s. It's a mythic, very cool for commander. Plant tadpoles. That's funny. I like it. Uh, Ball Lord of Murder. Oh wow, legendary god. Green, red, black, and 2 for a 4/4. As long as your life total is less than or equal to half your starting life total, Ball Lord of Murder has indestructible. Whenever another non-token creature you control dies, put a +1/+1 counter, probably on Ball and goad it. Hmm, very interesting. I wonder if they're gonna start making a bunch of gods. Wizards. Wow, the Wizards of Thay. Man, I haven't heard about those guys in a while. Blue and 3 for a 3/3 human wizard. Myriad. So there's another effect we don't know what it is. Instant and sorcery spells you cast cost 1 less. That's already pretty cool. You may cast sorcery spells as though they had flash. Oh my god, everything's an instant. Um, this seems really powerful for a rare, and now we just got to figure out what this means. All right, so next we have Raised by Giants. Green and 5, legendary enchantment background mythic. Commander creatures you own have base power and toughness 10/10 and are giants in addition to their other types. Wow. That's pretty beef. Um, Lae'zel Follicus Champion. White and 2 for a 3/3. It's a Gith warrior. If you put if you put one or more counters on a creature or planeswalker you control or on yourself, put that many +1 of each of those kinds of counters on that permanent or player instead. Wow, so this is just going to make planeswalkers just go up fast. This is going to be a great rare for white decks. Very nice. Choose a background. All right. Risala Ryle Kingpin. I don't know. Black, blue, and 3. Human rogue with death touch. Can't see his power and toughness. When he enters the battlefield, you take the initiative. Whenever you attack, target attacking creature gains death touch till end of turn. If you've completed the dungeon, that creature also gets +5/+0 and gains first strike and menace until end of turn. Wow, that's pretty good. All right, next we have Wily's Reversal. Red and 2 instant. Choose target spell or ability with one or more targets. Roll d20 and add the greatest power among creatures you control. Okay. Uh, 1 through 14, you may choose new targets for that spell or ability. 15 plus, you may choose new targets for that spell or ability, then copy it and choose new targets. Wow, that's going to be a really good rare. That's going to see a lot of play. It's like a fork bonus. Noble's Purse, 2 colorless artifact. When it enters the battlefield, tapped, and with 3 coin counters. Remove a coin counter from Noble's Purse, create a treasure. That's really cool. That's going to be a great commander card for mana fixing and stuff. Next, we have another gate, Cliff Gate. Oh, this one's a red one and 1 other mana. So apparently there's going to be a gate for every color. That's going to be a lot of mana fixing. Plus, that means there's at least 5 new gates in case somebody wants to play a gate deck. That's really cool. Blur. Blue and 2 instant. Exile target creature you control, then return to the battlefield under your owner's control. Draw a card. Nice. Sturge. I remember these things. 1 black flying, 1/1 creature that can't block. For a black and 1, you can pay 1 life, sacrifice a Sturge to draw a card. Interesting. I remember those being a lot tougher in D&D. Dungeoneer's Pack, 3 colorless when it enters the battlefield tapped. Sacrifice the pack, you take the initiative, you gain 3 life, draw a card, create a treasure token, activate as a sorcery. So that's really powerful, but since it has to be done as a sorcery, plus it's 3 to lay and 2 to activate, it's going to be real hard to make this useful, but I can see people playing it. Next we have the Rug of Smothering. 3 colors for a 1/3 flyer. Whenever a player casts a spell, they lose 1 life for each spell they've cast this turn. Oh, wow. That's a... Okay, that's a thing. Alright, next we have Nemesis Phoenix. 3 red and 3 for a 4/2 with flying. Return the Phoenix from your graveyard to the battlefield tapped and attacking. Activate only during the declare attacker step and only if you're attacking 2 or more opponents. Very interesting. Like the picture. Criminal Pass. So a black and 2 legendary enchantment background. Commanded creatures you own have menace, and the creature gets +X/+O, where X is the number of creature cards in your graveyard. That's a pretty cool enchantment to just hang out. So, yeah. Next, we have Furkrag Cunning Investigator. It's a dragon, mythic. Red, blue, and 3 for a 3/3 flyer. It's got flying and haste, though. Whenever one or more dragons you control attack an opponent, go target creature that player controls. Whenever a creature does combat damage to one of your opponents, if that creature had to attack this combat, put a +1/+1 counter on the investigator and you draw a card. Okay, so you punch them for 3, go their creature. They can hit you if they want or hit somebody else. Either way, this becomes a 4/4 and you draw a card. That's pretty cool mythic, especially for dragon decks. Wow. Next, Sorvok Deathbringer. So black and 3 for a 3/4 human knight, legendary creature. At the beginning of each player's end step, if no permanents left the battlefield this turn, that player loses X life, where X is Sorvok's power. Choose a background. Wow, so you can just put him into play and not do anything, and just basically bolt your opponent constantly. Actually, you can bolt him for 6, because if you hit him for 3 and nothing leaves the battlefield, you hit him for 3 again. Wow, that's amazing. Wrathful Red Dragon. Oh, so we got another dragon. So 2 red and 3 for a 5/5 flyer. Whenever a dragon you control is dealt damage, it deals that much damage to any target that isn't a dragon. Oh, wow. That's something special for dragon decks. That's pretty cool. I like the art, too. 9 Fingers Keen. Blue, green, black, and 1 for a 4/4 with menace. Human rogue. The ward is pay 9 life. Good God. Whenever Keen deals combat damage to a player, look at the top 9 cards of your library. You may put a gate card from among them onto the battlefield. Then, if you control 9 or more gates, put the rest into your hand. Otherwise, put the rest on the bottom of your library random. So, here's something else that works with gates. And I think there can be... So, there's 5 here, and then there's like 10 other ones from other sets, right? So, that's like 15 gates. The odds hitting the gate's pretty good. I guess there's definitely got to be a gate deck. This is pretty neat, and it can be a gate to win. It can be a gate with this guy as your commander. Wow, it's pretty cool. All right, we have Raphael, the Fiendish Savior, red, black, and 3 for a 4/4 flyer, Devil Noble. Other demons, devils, imps, and tieflings you control get +1/+1 and have lifelink. That's pretty good. At the beginning of each end step, if a creature card was put into your graveyard from anywhere this turn, create a 1/1 red devil token. When it dies, deals a damage to any target, like normal. That's a real good card. Pretty sweet. Traverse the Outlands. Green and 4 sorcery. Search your library for X basic land cards, where X is the greatest power among creatures you control. Put those cards onto the battlefield, tap, then shuffle. At least it says basic lands. Still, that's pretty sweet. Man, is that sweet. All right, guys. Well, that's the last one we got, and that's all the ones I could find online. There may have been more that might have got taken down before I could get to them. But there we go. There's a good chunk of cards, a good 30 or so, I think. I didn't actually do any math or anything, but a good chunk of the set has now been revealed, and it looks very powerful. And it looks like so far there's not going to be any reprints from previous Commander sets, other than they're reprinting Sky Diamond, or they're reprinting diamonds into the set. So pretty cool. I like it. I like the set. I think it's gonna be a blast. So with that said, guys, thanks a lot for watching. I do appreciate it. Until next time, be kind, and as always, I hope to see you across from the game table.